This one's an easy one. It's been said that I don't have any funny ones. It's an interesting question. I'm probably going to start with one that hasn't come into our premises at all, and we've never owned one. And in a sense it's starting at the beginning, because what we'd like to own is a Henry VII sovereign from 1489. I have seen one, and I've actually seen it at the Royal Mint Visitor Centre on the day they opened. So that's a nice coin, a cool coin, and yes, we'd like to own one, and we'd like to be able to photograph one to show everybody. Another interesting sovereign that I've seen, again, we've not owned one yet, but it's an Elizabeth II. They're quite common, aren't they? Except 1953, coronation year, there weren't many made. I don't know the mintage, but I've certainly seen one. I might have seen two, and once again that was at the Royal Mint in the museum, not the visitor centre, and that was in the days when you could actually get into the Royal Mint Museum. You had to have an appointment, and you had to do it as a student or a professional numismatist. You really want to know? Do you think people, this question has got to be from somebody on the Silver Forum again, hasn't it? I don't know who that was. What do they want? A photo of me not wearing underwear on the Silver Forum? Be careful what you wish for, because it could happen. Not really. I do have a few coins that I own rather than the business owns, but I've said many years ago that I do have a wonderful coin collection. It's quite extensive, and it actually comprises all the coins that we bought that we've never managed to sell yet. Probably when I was in my 20s, and if we wanted a year, yeah, it'd be 29. It was when I was 29. That's been the best time of my life, the whole lot. I'm still 29. I've been 29 for a long time. It's quite well known. I'm staying at 29. Occasionally people ask my wife, when's Lawrence going to grow up? And she's got a great answer, which is, well, never, I hope. The answer is definitely yes. It probably happens most days of the week. Sometimes it's because we think somebody's trying a fraud attempt on us or using somebody else's money, but we do get approaches from dodgy people every single week, and generally most days. So yes, we do. I own currently a BMW i8. It's actually 6 years old. It's a hybrid, as most people probably know. It's not actually a supercar, it's just a very nice car. It's nice to drive. It's definitely not a supercar. It's no faster than something like an M3, which is about half the price. And strangely enough, when I bought it, although it's an attractive looking car, I didn't buy it primarily because of the way it looks. Since we've owned it, I've read or heard people say, oh yeah, the Ferrari 350 GTO from 1965 is the most beautiful car in the world. And I've had a look and thought, it looks like a dog of a kit car. And when I've looked around, I haven't actually seen a better looking car than the i8. And I'm driving it, so what does that say about me? Who asked that? I want names. Now that's a really good question, actually. Yeah, it's one I'm quite happy to answer. About 3 years ago, after more than 50 years in this business and a lot of experience, and a lot of pride that I can detect fakes. I was a bit quick one day and a bit hasty, and I let somebody push me into putting a price on a coin that I hadn't actually thoroughly checked. And we sold somebody an 1887 gold £5 piece from Queen's Victoria Jubilee, and it's a nightmare coin. That and the £2, the double sovereign from the same year, they're two of the most faked coins in the whole British series. I think the £5's probably worse. I almost have nightmares about them. And a staff member came to me one day and said, "Oh, we've got somebody who's really, really keen to buy one. He's driving me daft, he wants to buy one. You must be able to, there must be one out of this lot." And we looked at a whole tray full of coins, about 20, 25 similar coins in a tray, and actually picked the best, shiniest, best grade one out and had a look at it, and was sloppy and lazy, and we actually let that go out. The good thing, and I'm really glad this happened, is the guy got a second opinion and got it checked. He actually wanted to get it slabbed, which probably means he'd have been asking twice our price for it. And the response from the slabbing company was, "Oh, we can't grade this one because." So obviously we instantly, "Please, can we have it back? We will refund you the coin. We'll refund you for the postage. We want to have a look at that." I think we'd got a photo, but we took better photos. And since then, of course, I've studied the coin. It's probably one from the Lebanese counterfeit operation that used to probably be in Beirut in about the 1970s. It certainly is quite a high quality fake, but it is one I should have spotted. And I really, really kick myself for that every time I think about it. But that is partly what makes it a great question. It's funny, when I was a child, we did actually have a piano in just off the corridor of the house we lived in at the time. And nobody in the family played it. I don't know quite why we had it. And I tried to play it and couldn't do a tune on it. And for years and years and years, I actually wanted to learn to play the piano very badly. And then when I was maybe 29, I did most things when I was 29, I actually got a piano teaching system that plugged into the PC and taught you that. And I actually learned to play the piano very badly. It's a great question. I could probably think of at least half a dozen answers. Probably the best one though is who I was, what I was, and knowing all my strengths and weaknesses. And I think with that knowledge, which I probably could have and should have got from some kind of mentor, I could have done things a lot better. Okay, what I'd probably say is get a bigger budget and then we can really go to town on it. But no, on a serious note, sure, a lot of people do start either collecting coins or investing in coins on a reasonably modest budget. Firstly, decide what you're doing. Are you collecting or are you investing or are you doing both? And the answer to that's important, and only you really know that, but do think it out. And then if it's investing, then gold really comes first. And the reason it comes first is what's called investment gold in the UK or the EU is exempt from VAT. If you like silver, sure, buy silver, but as an investment, you're paying 20% VAT on it up front, and that's not great as an investment. There are ways around it, buying second-hand silver in the secondary market, buying junk silver, but none of them are totally satisfactory. You could also think about things like platinum, but again that's expensive and it's got VAT on it. So think about those to start with. The problem with investing in gold is the amount you've got to spend per item. If you buy a 1 ounce gold coin, it's going to cost you, well, currently somewhere over £1,300. You can buy gold sovereigns, which are near enough a quarter of an ounce, and they're only about a quarter of the price, which is quite nice. You don't pay a high premium on them. So I probably haven't stated it how I've skirted around it, but I've implied it that look for good value and look for coins with a low premium on them. Always buy at the lowest premium you can within reason. It's a tricky question. I like lots of countries. Generally somewhere that's got snow and mountains and I can go skiing. So it's not always easy in the UK. Probably Italy, Austria. France has got great mountains, great ski resorts. Switzerland's good. I've been in California at Lake Tahoe when there was snow on the ground, but I didn't actually go skiing. I've had a long trip in the USA, which was quite nice, about 4, 5, 6 weeks. A lot of lot of nice people there, but getting in and out of the States, it's a long haul, and you've got Niagara with their customs. So I suppose one answer to the question is the country I'm in at the minute. That's usually a good answer. At the minute that's the UK, which isn't too bad either. Yeah, the bullion market definitely has changed over years, and I can go back for more than 50 years of experience, and I can tell you that back in the 1960s, the only bullion coin that you could buy in the UK in any volume, or that there was a real market in, was the gold sovereign. That was it. Oh, there were half sovereigns, but sovereigns were the main ones. And in those days, we used to advertise to sell a sovereign for £4 if you were buying one coin. It was £37 and 10 shillings, if anybody knows what they were. For 10, £365 a 100 and £3,500 per 1,000. And we used to get orders for 1,000. People would send us a cheque. No, I'd like 1,000 sovereigns, please. And that's a fabulous price. Even though at the time, and I didn't know at the time, but the premium on sovereigns at the time was somewhere around about 40-odd%, which is kind of interesting comparison. Now the changes, there have just been so many changes in that time. There was the exchange control order, which said that you basically, if you lived in the UK, you couldn't buy any gold coins. And if you owned more than 4 of them, you had to hand them in. Nobody did that I know of. You could get a collector's license. We had a dealer's license. Then that got scrapped, and then VAT came in and included gold coins, sadly enough, so that really badly affected the bullion market. During that time, I think I'm right, that Krugerrands were invented in 1967, but you couldn't legally import them into the UK, I don't think, because of apartheid, but certainly there would have been VAT on them. So British people never got to see Krugerrands at the time. Eventually that got changed, but it actually wasn't until January the 1st, 2000, that partly because the UK was in the EU, but both entities of the UK and the EU actually levelled things up and decided that investment gold was exempt from VAT in the whole of the EU. The UK was part of that. Now we're not part, but it still remains that investment gold is exempt from VAT, which means that nowadays you can buy it and you don't have to just buy sovereigns. You could buy Krugerrands, you can buy gold Britannias, you can buy all numbers of different gold coins. You don't pay any VAT on them. The premiums are very low, whereas I said sovereigns were about 40% premium. You can buy sovereigns now for, let's say about 5% premium. You can pay less, you can pay a bit more. 1 ounce gold coins, again, you can pay between about 2% and 5% on those. There's two downsides as well. One, the gold price has gone up, because back in the 1960s it was about $35 an ounce, so about £15 an ounce. Now it's about $1,900 and about £1,300. The second bit of the downside is you have to actually provide your ID because of money laundering regulations. And unfortunately, we as a business have to get that from customers, and not every customer likes it. With the good old days or bad old days, somebody used to be able to come in with 5,000 quid and say, I want to buy some gold coins, and we'd say, yeah, there's the cash, there's your coins, would you like a receipt? And they'd say, no. That's how it's changed.
Thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed the content, please be sure to like and subscribe. And if you're looking for the latest coin news and precious metal news, be sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook.